Government without integrity, a president who deceived the world with impunity. In her piss-soaked jeans, the broken arm stiff at her side, I see her disgust with a country that would spy on its own people, ignore its own laws, kill its own children. Certainly you've seen this photograph, taken at the infamous press conference in Lima, Peru, on August 25, 1998, 3 days after her arrest. You've noted, in the way she leans toward the reporters, a Doberman on a leash, her contempt for a press that whistled while thousands were rounded up, held in secret prisons, subjected to all manner of abuse, a press that branded as disloyal any who insisted upon the truth. Who hasn't seen this image, nor wondered at the small figure surrounded by soldiers with impressive weaponry against the backdrop of a foreign flag? No one who's viewed the footage can forget her gale force anger, the threat conveyed by her every gesture. No one can ignore her clenched fist. But her eyes tell a different story. When I look into her eyes, small and gray behind thick glasses, open shockingly wide, I don't see the violent criminal so many have described. I see vulnerability, the pain of betrayal. I see innocence of a kind. How to explain this incongruity? To bridge the gap between that bedraggled figure and her iron fury? How to sort out the truth from the lies? It's been 10 years since that disastrous press conference. I've been asked to find the real Leonora Gelb, a task for which no one could be less qualified. People think they know something about my daughter, but they don't know a damned thing, her mother told Newsweek in September 2000 on the 2nd anniversary of the military trial. They think she's some kind of radical, but that's just what the Peruvian government wants them to think. If they could only see the real Leo, they'd know my daughter would never hurt a fly. But who was the real Leo? The sweet, brilliant child her mother described? The diligent student, lover of animals, hard worker, caring neighbor, fitful gardener, champion of the needy, role model for her younger brother Matthew? Or the hardened revolutionary, a soldier of fortune who came to Peru to foment violence in a country that had known far too much of it? Was she the clueless dupe her lawyer made her out to be? A naive young woman blinded by love? Or a cold-eyed conspirator, the Gringa mastermind behind a plague of deadly crimes? Leonora Harriet Gelb was born August 9, 1971, to David and Maxine Gelb, née Green, of Cannondale, New Jersey, a newly incorporated suburb in the northeast corner of the state. Matthew came 20 months later. She graduated from Alden Regional High School in 1989. She was class salutatorian, National Merit Scholar, and editor of the school newspaper, The Aldenian, but her high school years were otherwise unremarkable. In 1993, she received a BA in history from Stanford University, where she studied with the controversial political historian Gabriel Zamir. She minored in art history. Her GPA was a respectable 3.28. For a time, it was assumed that Zamir first put Leo in contact with the Cuarta Filosofia, one of the several militant groups that brought Peru to the brink of collapse in the 1980s and early 1990s. He has always denied it. Over the years, he's taken pains to distance himself from the matter. "I knew her only briefly and professionally," he wrote to me recently, "but I found Leo Gelb to be an excellent student, uncommonly perceptive and dedicated, with a deep concern for the plight of workers, minorities, and the poor." One wishes he had more to say about his notorious former advisee. But like everyone who knew her, he measures his words. "Of course I don't condone her alleged actions," he told me, "but the Peruvian government's treatment of her is